According to horse speeds, the average horse can run up to 55 miles per hour, but of course it needs all four legs to be working properly. According to DVEM Couture, DSLD is a disease that attacks the lower limbs in horses and prevents them from running at such a speed. Couture also explains that DSLD, or degenerative suspensory ligament desmitis, is a disease that attacks the connective tissues in the lower limbs of certain breeds, including quarter horses, thoroughbreds, saddlebreds, Arabians, Peruvian Pastos, and Paso crosses. Researchers Downing et al. Also explain that because the connective tissue is attacked in the lower limbs, a lot of times this disease leads to lameness and eventually euthanasia, which means they have to be put down. I am currently majoring in equine science and work at CSU's Veterinary Teaching Hospital as barn crew. I also ride and lease horses with friends. Not too long ago, I noticed that my friend's horse had some abnormalities in his legs, so I thought he had DSLD. We had a couple people come out and look at him, including a vet, and it was determined that he was lame on one leg and had very weak muscling. This made me realize that I did not know that much about DSLD, and neither did my equine friends. This made me realize that we need to learn more about this and spread the awareness of it because of how deadly it really is. Because the disease is so unknown, it is important to recognize and spread the knowledge we have now about it, including the signs, symptoms, and prognosis of the disease, so that it can arise in awareness. First, let me take you through the brief history of DSLD. According to DVM Ramy, about 3 decades ago, people started noticing that Peruvian Pastos' lower limbs were starting to break down, which eventually led to them to be having to put down. This disease came to be called DSLD. Since then, more information has been determined, but according to DVM Couture, it is incurable. Several ideas as to the reason DSLD has developed is being researched, but several theories have also been studied, including one theory that there is excessive amounts of proteoglycans, a sugar protein complex, in multiple tissues, including suspensory ligaments, the cardiovascular system, the knees, and the superficial and digital deep flexor tendons in the horse, according to researchers Downing et al. Another finding is that DSLD is a systematic disorder that affects the excessive buildup of proteoglycans, leading to the finding of the excessive buildup of proteoglycans, which has gotten DSLD to also be named ESP8, which stands for equine systemic proteoglycan accumulation, though the new name has not caught on as much. Another theory is that it runs in the family, which means that it's hereditary, and which also means that family members can lead to the breakdown of connective tissue in their offspring. Now that we've learned about the brief history of DSLD, let's learn about the signs, symptoms, and prognosis. The suspensory ligament is a support system for the leg, and it prevents the fetlock from dropping or hypertension, which can also be destroyed because of stress to the legs, including jumping, running fast a lot, or DSLD, according to researchers Carson and Ricketts. Since in DSLD the suspensory ligament is damaged, DSLD is characterized by a dropped and swollen fetlock. For that to make more sense to you, let me show you this brief drawing. This is a normal horse's leg. It's got a great angle, the fetlock is where it's supposed to be, and so is the pastern. This is a DSLD horse. You can see that the angle is horrible and that the pastern and fetlock are almost horizontal. The fetlock is dropped and swollen, and it is very, very painful for the horse. So as you can see, these are completely two different angles. The signs of DSLD include heat and swelling in the fetlock area, lameness, stumbling around to walk, constantly laying down, digging holes in the ground and pointing their toes inward to relieve the stress of that awkward angle. And their pasterns can appear horizontal, as I just showed you in this picture. They have unstable gaits, and they have an unwillingness to stand up. And there's a lot more symptoms, but these are the most common according to DVM Couture. So, considering the signs and symptoms of DSLD, let's talk about the possible prognosis of horses affected with DSLD. Sadly, there is currently no cure for DSLD, but steps can be taken to increase the comfortability of a DSLD horse, according to DVM Ramsey. Treatment of DSLD can include techniques and therapies that are useful to the horses, but at the same time, there is really no cure or treatment that is extremely helpful in this case, according to DVM Ramsey. Techniques include different shoeing options, various bandaging of the leg, much less exercise of the horse, no more riding of the horse, pain relievers, certain types of therapies, supplements, and lifestyle and environment changes. However, according to DVM Ramsey, none of these treatment options have slowed the progress of DSLD, which is why it is so deadly. The best thing one can do is talk to a vet and figure out a plan for a DSLD horse to make its pain more livable. However, this disease will most likely end with premature death of your equine friend. So considering all these factors, I really hope that the crucial need of more research is reached by this message. As explained today, DSLD is not a very well understood disease, but the fatal aspect of it prompts for significantly more research so that better treatments and hopefully a cure is discovered to increase DSLD horses' lives. I encourage listeners to spread the word of DSLD, especially those in the equine world, so that more people become aware of this disease and hopefully that more research and hopefully a cure can become of this. And hopefully no more equine friends have to die to this. Thank you.